Welcome to Marvel Universe 19, where we dive deep into the extraordinary world of Marvel Comics. Join us, your hosts, myself, CosplayDude637, Ty Tiger, Mark the Red Cornish Ranger, and even A-Crown, as we explore the adventures of your favorite characters from the Marvel Universe, such as the iconic X-Men, the thrilling New Mutants, and the dynamic Marvel Rising Heroes, along with Avengers, Fantastic Four, any Marvel hero you can think of, you'll hear it here on this channel. So, sit back, get ready, and join us for an epic journey through Marvel Universe 19. What is up, everybody? It is your boy CosplayDude637, and welcome to another episode of Marvel Universe 19. Today, I have a new story for you called NeXt Class. A new group of students is taking the reins at Xavier's school, but can they handle it? Let's go find out.
Chapter 1. Oh, that first day.
In the heart of Xavier's school for gifted youngsters, the students gathered in the vast expanse of the Danger Room. Holographic displays flickered to life, casting an ethereal glow over the eager faces. At the front of the room, Professor Charles Xavier, seated in his wheelchair, rolled up to the podium. Welcome, students, to another exciting year at Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters, Professor Xavier's voice boomed, filling the room with warmth and reassurance. The students erupted into applause, their excitement palpable. As many of you know, Xavier continued, this school was founded with the vision of providing a safe and nurturing environment for mutants to learn and grow. Our goal is not just to educate you academically, but to help you develop and control your unique abilities. The holographic displays behind him shifted, showcasing images of the school, its mission, and its students. Images of past X-Men teams flashed before their eyes, highlighting their achievements and contributions. As mutants, each of you possesses incredible gifts and abilities, Xavier reminded them. But with those gifts comes great responsibility. It is our duty to ensure that you learn to use your powers for the greater good, to protect those who cannot protect themselves. The room fell silent as Xavier's words sank in. The weight of their responsibilities hung heavy in the air. As you know, Xavier continued, his voice taking on a more serious tone, the world can be a dangerous place for mutants. That is why it is crucial that you all work together, support one another, and above all, stay vigilant. We are here to help you, but ultimately, your fate is in your own hands. The students nodded in agreement, understanding the gravity of Xavier's words. And now, Xavier declared, his voice filled with pride, let us welcome our new students to Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters. I have no doubt that each and every one of you will make us proud. The students erupted into cheers and applause as Xavier rolled back from the podium. But their celebration was short-lived as the Danger Room suddenly came to life, alarms blaring.
Calling all seekers of the supernatural, all those drawn to the unknown. I am CosplayDude637, and I'm here to introduce you to the podcast that will redefine your understanding of the extraordinary. Welcome to The Order, the podcast. Existing inside the Order, there is the legend of the Chosen One. Join Eric Von Connors, a half-vampire, half-angel, alongside his remarkable team, Van Helsing, Bella Helsing, and Tasha Wolfsbane. Together, they defend the world from the forces of evil while trying to lead somewhat normal lives. Why should you tune in? Because The Order is not just a podcast. It's an immersive journey into a world where supernatural beings, ancient prophecies, and everyday struggle coexist. Subscribe now on your favorite podcast platform. Search for The Order, the podcast, and join me, CosplayDude637, as we unravel the mysteries, explore the extraordinary, and embark on a supernatural adventure like none other. Again, that is The Order, the podcast, where the extraordinary becomes the everyday. Subscribe, share, and let the journey into the unknown begin. Happy listening.
As the students cheered, their celebration was abruptly cut short by blaring alarms. The danger room came to life as a towering sentinel burst through the walls, its mechanical form casting a shadow over the stunned students.
Mutants identified. Destroy all mutants.
Panic swept through the room, and some students scrambled to run for cover. But amidst the chaos, a core group of students, Mikhail, Angelique, Xander, Ruthie, Isla, Logan, CJ, Brooklyn, Jules, Madeline, and Connor remained calm. "We need to take control of the situation," Mikhail shouted over the noise, his voice cutting through the chaos. Angelique nodded, her eyes narrowing as she assessed the situation. "We can't let it get to the other students. We have to stop it." With a nod from Ruthie, the group sprang into action. Mikhail unleashed bolts of electricity, crackling with power, while Angelique charged forward, her superhuman strength propelling her into battle. Xander leaped into the air, his demon wings carrying him towards the Sentinel. Meanwhile, Ruthie focused her powers, manipulating her size to evade the Sentinel's attacks and strike back with precision. Isla darted around the room with her ability to bounce off surfaces with ease, while Logan used his umbrokinesis to cloak the group in shadows, providing cover. CJ raced around the room at superhuman speed, creating a whirlwind of motion that kept the Sentinel off balance. Brooklyn shifted her form, morphing into different shapes to confuse and distract their mechanical foe. Jules channeled her emotional energy, unleashing bursts of power that disrupted the Sentinel's systems. As the students worked together to battle the Sentinel, they quickly realized something wasn't right. The Sentinel's movements were too predictable, too controlled. And then, just as suddenly as it had appeared, the Sentinel froze in place, its metallic form flickering before disappearing entirely. The danger room fell silent once more, the only sound the heavy breathing of the students as they looked around, realizing they were safe. "That was intense," Connor said, breaking the silence as he looked around at his friends. But before anyone could respond, Professor Xavier's voice filled the room, calm and reassuring. "Excellent work, students. You all demonstrated courage, teamwork, and quick thinking in the face of danger. But as you may have realized, the Sentinel was nothing more than a simulation. A test, if you will, to see how you would react." The students exchanged looks of relief and realization, understanding the purpose behind the unexpected attack. "Well done, all of you," Xavier continued. "I am proud of each and every one of you." As the students caught their breath and the adrenaline began to fade, they couldn't help but feel a sense of pride in what they had accomplished together.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a group of men for any task that our tax-paying social justice system won't and cannot handle. Whether it's rescues, scaring someone, murder, maybe someone owes you money, maybe you don't feel safe, then hire these amazing mutants. A team for any mission for any easy fee. Call the number on our screen for the Mutants for Hire now!
After the intense simulation in the danger room, the group of students gathered in the rec room, still buzzing with adrenaline and excitement. They sat in a circle, discussing the events that had just unfolded. "That was insane," Mikhail said, shaking his head in disbelief. "I can't believe we just took on a Sentinel." "Yeah, and we didn't even hesitate," Angelique added, a hint of pride in her voice. "We just knew what we had to do." Jules nodded in agreement. "We make a pretty good team, if I do say so myself." Ruthie smiled, her eyes sparkling. "I couldn't have asked for a better group to be with." As they talked, Sam, also known as Hardwire, and Alyssa, known as Wildfire, approached the group. They had been watching from the sidelines during the simulation, impressed by the students' quick thinking and teamwork. Hey, Sam said, offering them a smile. I just wanted to say, that was really impressive what you guys did out there. Yeah, seriously, Alyssa added. You all really know how to handle yourselves in a tough situation. The group exchanged looks of surprise and gratitude, not expecting the praise from their fellow students. Thanks, CJ said, a grin spreading across his face. We just did what we had to do. Yeah, well, not everyone would have been able to handle it like you guys did, Sam said, her expression earnest. We should hang out sometime, Alyssa suggested. Maybe hit the mall or something. The group exchanged glances, nodding in agreement. Just one question? Isla asked why would me go to a mall? As the youngest of the group, she was confused by this the most. Her fellow students just shushed her. I will tell you later. Brooklyn added in.
Hello, fellow listeners. Are you sitting comfortably? Good. Then I will begin. I'm going to read you a story of ancient beings of time and light, of group of champions flying in their metal shells, of great warriors and their epic mechs, of evil villains, of darkness and terror. Come join me, the Red Cornish Ranger, as I present Nerds Through Comics, an epic telling of your classic comics and graphic novels. Please come sit comfortably and enjoy Nerds Through Comics from the Zero to Hero Network.
In the quiet confines of the teacher's lounge, the X-Men gathered, their expressions grave as they discussed the events that had unfolded in the danger room. It was a close call, Scott remarked, his brow furrowed with concern. If it had been a real threat. Jean nodded in agreement, her gaze distant as she replayed the events in her mind. We need to make sure the students are better prepared for situations like that. Logan grunted in agreement, his arms crossed over his chest. Some of them froze. We can't afford that in a real fight. Aurora sighed, her thoughts troubled. But others showed incredible bravery. That core group, especially. Hank nodded in agreement, his expression impressed. They acted quickly, without hesitation. They worked together seamlessly. Kitty leaned forward, her eyes alight with admiration. It's clear with training, they will be ready for anything. Lorna glanced around, her expression thoughtful. We need to keep pushing them. Pushing all of them. We can't afford to have anyone unprepared. The X-Men fell silent, each lost in their own thoughts. They knew that the safety of the school, and perhaps even the world, depended on the abilities of their students.
Hello, person listening to this ad break. If you like the silky sound of my voice, and you want to know more about the things I know about, head on over to the Zero to Hero podcast. We listen to my brother and myself wobble and bicker about little things and nuances of nerd culture. Like, is Rocky really the true hero, the Power Rangers universe? Is Jason the best Red Ranger? Or is Gundam Wing the best Gundam series? Come on over and enjoy yourself, and be angry when you leave.
As their first day came to an end, the group of students began to disperse. The boys headed off towards the boys' dormitory, while the girls made their way towards the girls' dormitory. But before they could part ways, Logan called out to them. Hey, wait a minute, Logan said, stepping forward to address the group. I've got an idea. The others turned to look at him, curious. What if we called ourselves the next class? Logan suggested, a mischievous glint in his eyes. The next class? Isla repeated, a smile spreading across her face. Yeah, Logan continued, his excitement growing. With the X capitalized. You know, like the X-Men. The others exchanged glances, considering the idea. I like it, Madeline said, nodding in agreement. It's catchy. Count me in, Connor added, a grin spreading across his face. The rest of the group nodded in agreement, their enthusiasm growing. Next class it is, CJ declared, a smile spreading across his face. With their new name decided, the group exchanged high fives and fist bumps before finally heading off to their respective dormitories, their bond stronger than ever.
Thank you so much for listening to this tale. Now, if you like what you're hearing here on Marvel Universe 19, head over to Tiger Tales, ran by my Parabatai and business partner, Ty Tiger. He hosts a storytelling channel also, and on there you will find most of my stories too, from my old podcast Storytime. So if you like what you're hearing here, head over and check out his stories on Tiger Tales. Trust me, they are amazing. This podcast is a production of the Three Ranger Bros Studios, in association with Zio to Hero, the podcast.
You look nervous as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs.
Thank you all for listening to that story. I hope you enjoyed it. Just a reminder that all my fanfictions are just that, fanfictions, and does not mean to infringe on the mainstream continuity that it's from. Now, I'd like to take a little bit of time to thank all those that support me. First off, you have the Three Ranger Bros Studio, which consists of myself, CosplayDude637, my Parabatai and dear friend, Ty Tiger, with all his YouTube channels, Tiger Tales, and his new podcast, the Tiger Nexus Podcast. Then, of course, last but definitely not least, we have Mark, the Red Cornish Ranger, with his podcast, Nerds Through Comics. And then there's the guys at Zio to Hero, the podcast. Jim and Billy, the bulk and skull of podcasting. Anything nerdy you think you have ever talked about, I guarantee they have an episode about it. So definitely go check them out. Then we have Jared over on If You Give a Dad a Podcast. An amazing guy, a dad like myself that just loves talking to nerdy people about every subject. So definitely go give him a listen also. Then there's Jacob, aka the Iron Avenger, on TikTok and Instagram. We also have to give a shout out to Ben, the Baker Ranger. And last but not least, there is Tony, our good friend. And an honorable mention to the late, great Rebel Ranger, Sam. We love you, we miss you. Every person I just mentioned is a member of the Zio to Hero Network. Now, I'm going to take a little bit of time to mention some of the friends of the Zio to Hero Network. First off, we have Casey from the Mighty Morphin Conspiracy Theories, Justin, aka A-Crown, from the Author's Crown YouTube channel, Johnson of Western Strike, Rob, aka Lightning Collector 2021, James, better known as Beauty_Baba Yaga, Justin the Green Spartan Ranger, and Michael and Nathan of the Power Trip. Everyone I just named has been a huge supporter to me and my podcast, and if you can, go give them a follow. It would mean the world to me. Thanks a lot. Until next time, guys. Later days.